The rest of the news Tuesday. Good morning. This is Dan Earhart. Fellas, if you need to be hospitalized, you might want to consider Stockholm South General. The hospital recently ran an ad campaign looking for nurses with TV hot looks and a sense of humor. Forbes magazine says there's probably a $20 a barrel Iranian risk premium built in right now, contributing to the high price of gasoline. But they basically tie the price of oil to the price of gold, which has been going up for 10 years. California gas prices jumped 26 cents a gallon last week. Average is now $4.29. It's nearly as high in Portland and Seattle. It's $4.34 in San Francisco, where we've all left our hearts a time or three. Well, maybe except for Newt Gingrich, who was in Burlingame this past weekend for the California Republican Convention. While there, he blamed the president for these high gas prices, then went on to speak of the far left and what he calls San Francisco values. To wit, he told a little story from back in 1984. One day, he, Newt, was strolling through Union Square when a 6'2" transvestite, not just any run-of-the-mill garden variety transvestite, but a 6'2" transvestite, approached, towered over him, while handing him an invitation to the exorcism of Jerry Falwell. You gotta love San Francisco. The president is way ahead of all GOP contenders in California, anyway. Sticking with the subject of Republican tales of yore, Mitt Romney recalled a remarkable event from his childhood yesterday in Detroit while campaigning for today's primary. He told a Tea Party crowd that he was 4 or something when he attended the Golden Jubilee, which celebrated the 50th anniversary of the American automobile. 750,000 people were there. It was June 1st, 1946. But Mitt wasn't one of them. Mitt Romney was born March 12, 1947. Today was the day when in 1854, about 50 people, all of whom were opponents of slavery, met in a Wisconsin town to form a new political group that became the Republican Party, the party that gave us Eisenhower and I Like Ike stickers, the president who began the interstate highway system, the president who warned us of the military-industrial complex in his farewell speech. This past weekend, the New York Times ran an editorial about the GOP headlined, "Ghastly Outdated Party." In the article, one Republican strategist laments, "Being against sex is not good. Sex is popular." Continuing, they're trying to roll back the clock, but time is passing them by. In an oh-so-subtle jab at candidate Santorum, the president yesterday urged the nation's governors to spend more on education, saying the countries that out-educate us today will out-compete us tomorrow. Of course, Republican Santorum called him a snob for advocating more education for Americans. And on this day, 1861, Colorado was organized as a territory of this great, highly educated country. And now, in November, residents of the great state of Colorado will go to the polls to vote on the Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol Act, just approved for the ballot after more than 160,000 signatures supporting the initiative were turned in, seeking to allow possession and cultivation by people 21 years of age. That means you can grow your own, neighbor, or buy it from a licensed dealer. That story about the banker leaving a 1% tip on a $133 lunch tab down in Newport Beach turns out to be a Photoshop. The tip was really $33. Looks like Sacha Baron Cohen wins. A Hollywood Reporter poll gives him 57% hilarious versus 32% so not funny. It's unknown how Ryan Seacrest voted. Here's a story so good it's posted on the Rest of the News Facebook page. Last Saturday morning, a man in San Francisco was driving his Volvo to the dealership for service when, holy, a large, naked woman, estimated 250 pounds, young and strong, wearing only tennis shoes, marched up the hood of his car and stomped his windshield in at the corner of Church and 24th. You gotta see the look on this guy's face. You gotta love that San Francisco. Until tomorrow, this is Dan Earhart.